Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So if I had one video to show you guys to truly exemplify who Donald Trump is as a president, as a human being, in respect to who Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are, well then this would be the video. As per usual, Democrats talk a big game. They talk, but they never walk the talk now, do they? They'll use certain issues to their own benefit, to cast themselves within a favorable light, but when push comes to shove, who's actually there on the street with the people? Who actually shows up time and time again? Well, it's not Kamala, it's not Joe. It's the 45th president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Every single time. Whether it's what happened in Maui, what happened in East Palestine, Ohio, and now with actually showing up at the Arlington National Cemetery to honor the 11 Marines, one soldier and one sailor killed during that horrible attack at Abbey Gate back in 2021, the contrast is painted yet again, and let's have a conversation about that contrast. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so this just happened. Take a look.
Present! Out!
That's 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, laying the wreath as a sign of respect for all the fallen servicemen and women. And now, why is it significant and why are we talking about it? Well, because the President of the United States is supposed to be doing that. You know who is supposed to be there? Joe Biden. And take a wild guess where Joe Biden is. On frickin' vacation. Joe Biden takes a week-long vacation in California, then comes back, not to go honor those 13 service members, but to go have a jolly good time at his lavish vacation mansion in Delaware. I mean, it's unfrickin' believable. Donald Trump is the one that shows up, and it's no surprise why. Firstly, because the Democrats honestly don't care, and secondly, because the Democrats probably can't even show their face there. We already know how the families feel about them.
When Joe Biden, our elected president, entered the room, when he approached me, his words to me were, my wife Jill and I know how you feel. We lost our son as well and brought him home in a flag-draped coffin. My heart started beating faster, and I started shaking knowing that their son died from cancer and they were able to be by his side. Also wondering how someone could honestly, be so heartless to say he knew how I felt a little over 24 hours and learning of my son's death. After this encounter, I have never had any personal correspondence, nor has my son been honored or his name spoken by this commander-in-chief or his administration on what I feel is because of their failures and poor planning to exit our troops from Afghanistan.
Well, I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch over and over again. All I wanted to do was shout out, "It's 2:30, asshole." But out of respect to the other grieving families, I bit my tongue once again. Well, as you could probably tell by now, I'm done biting my tongue.
But either way, it's the same story. We all remember their disgraceful behavior when these 13 brave US service members were killed in Afghanistan as a result of Biden's poorly planned withdrawal. Their reaction was nothing short of shameful. Remember when Joe Biden checked his watch multiple times during that dignified transfer ceremony? It was a clear signal of disrespect. It felt like these fallen heroes were nothing more than an inconvenience to him. The whole thing felt like an inconvenience to him. Joe Biden didn't want to take the public relations hit. He was more focused on shifting the blame on Donald Trump Trump than he was on anything else. Oh, it was Donald Trump's plan. No, it wasn't, by the way. Initially, there was a deal being made in Afghanistan that would have led to the withdrawal of US troops, but Trump was not satisfied by what he was seeing on the other side. He felt the Taliban and Afghan officials were acting in bad faith, and so he didn't do the deal. He didn't follow through with the withdrawal, but Joe Biden, probably wanting to distract from his health issues, he wanted a big frickin' win, and so he just went through with it, with no actual planning, caused an absolute calamity, and then tried running away from it. The whole thing really was an inconvenience for Joe, and Kamala Harris wasn't necessarily better. Instead of showing empathy and leadership, she was conspicuously absent during the entire process, focusing on photo ops and political games rather than honoring those who had made the ultimate sacrifice for the nation, not to mention the blatant disrespect when she was asked to provide comment on the tarmac on that fateful night.
What's your response to reports of Americans?
Hold on. Slow down, everybody. I want to talk about two things. First, Afghanistan.
She laughed and giggled. 13 US service members died due to their incompetence, and Kamala Harris walks across the tarmac to the cameras, giggling and laughing. Cackling Kamala. Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna refrain from saying what's on my mind, but honestly, I don't think I need to say it because you're probably thinking the exact same thing. Right now, we're probably on the same wavelength. If we were face to face in person, our facial language and body language would say it all. We would just nod at each other and know. I mean, we really, truly are talking about the ultimate sacrifice. Individuals, patriots, fellow humans who sacrificed everything. They sacrificed their lives for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I mean, ultimately, that's what happened. And Joe and Kamala didn't have the decency to show some respect. You know, just a little bit of respect would have been nice. And really, again, honing in on the contrast of it all, let's contrast their behavior with Donald Trump's. Say what you will about the man, but when it came to the military, Trump showed unwavering respect. He makes it a point to attend these events and honor the sacrifices of US service members. Whether it's returning to fallen soldiers' homes, increasing military funding, attending countless ceremonies, Trump understands the weight of these sacrifices, and more importantly, he shows respect through his actions and not just words. The Democrats, like I keep saying, they blah blah frickin' blah, but they never actually show up. Just look at what happened in Maui, for instance. I mean, for Pete's sakes, a good portion of the coastal village burnt to a crisp. The air so thick with smog, you could barely see what's a quarter of a mile in front of you. People fled to the ocean. I mean, it was a complete catastrophe.
Yeah. You're gonna be okay, Milo. Holy.
But what did the Biden administration do? They didn't even show up and then offered people a one-time $700 support check. Honestly, just pathetic. The Democrats time and time again show how callous they are, how they truly don't care, how life is irrelevant to them. And really, I think it goes well beyond those 13 US service members, and more to the point at large. I mean, look at their stance on the war in Ukraine, for instance. We know that Joe Biden and Boris Johnson spiked peace talks between the two nations. They would rather the as long as it takes approach, because of course the economic and foreign policy interests abroad to them is more valuable than human life. Hundreds of thousands of people have perished in a horrific conflict that should have ended 2 years ago. They don't care. They just want to keep laundering money. And once again, in contrast, this is the Trump approach.
I want everybody to stop dying. They're dying.
Trump's respect for soldiers in general is really the point here. It's not just American soldiers, it's people in general. Unlike previous administrations, the Trump administration focused on de-escalation and avoiding unnecessary wars. He didn't start a single new war during his presidency. That's a remarkable feat considering the pressures and provocations from various global hotspots. Instead, Trump prioritized peace deals and bringing home troops. From the historic Abraham's Accord to engaging in dialogue with North Korea, Trump sought peace through strength, not endless military entanglements. He understands that respecting military is not just showing up at the ceremonies, it's not just talking, but it also means not sending young lives into harm's way without a just cause. Meanwhile, Joe Biden was the biggest proponent for the war in Iraq. The guy lobbied for almost a year straight to get that war started. We have seen time and time again, on countless occasions, the Biden-Harris administration show their disregard for the lives and sacrifices of our service members, and frankly for the lives of soldiers abroad and people in general. And of course, in contrast, once again, Donald Trump's record simply speaks for itself. He has spoken through his actions, and that's gotta mean something. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.